Hey, what's up, people? How's it going there? Today is Friday, September 16th, 2022. Now, yeah, some video footage of me had surfaced. It's bad. I come off in a bad light, but I'm going to explain it. First, let's get to the video.
You know, like the next thing you know, all of a sudden he gets raided, you know, everything gets taken from him, and we never came out on it. So
you got a big scandal in the 90s, like they.
Hey, what's up, people? Alright, let me explain myself. No, I know it. You gotta watch the video to the end, but honestly, it was dark. Couldn't even see my own hair in front of my face. You guys saw the footage. It was nighttime, right? Dark. Couldn't see nothing. If it was even me, I couldn't even figure it out. I'm just saying. It's fake. Did they do that? What is it? Fake face? Yeah, fake ID with the face? Something like that. No, fuck with you guys now. Of course I did that shit, yo. That's how I roll, man. I told you guys in that last podcast or video I put down about the Toaster guy, when he went over my tag there, I explained a list of writers that started shit with me. All those people in that list started shit with me. I did not say I never started shit with no one. As a matter of fact, I watched the video, I think like 3 or 4 times. I said, I am not innocent. I probably would have went off on some of these people anyway, you know? So, yeah, nah. And plus, you look at them dudes, man. That was all a bunch of goddamn greenhorns, man. Fuck them. Out in Manhattan Island, I rolled that shit with an iron fist. I didn't take no shit. That's how I used to take shit down, man. Yeah, true fucking story. But the interesting thing is, the guy that posted that, originally it was from Videograph with Carl Weston. And you'll see. But it was JWF Documentaries that posted. He's from Yorkville, this neighborhood. I've sat in this room, me and D3, and done a video for him just because Yorkville, that's how we roll. And I never discussed what was talked about in that video. I won't do a video on that because I gave that material to him. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Good shit about we caught Kid Capri out there. Y'all ever hear about Kid Capri? Yeah, Kid Capri, never ever think of jerking me. Yeah, we jerked that motherfucker. For real, he's like a rapper and he was doing all that shit up at the Apollo. Yeah, check it out one day. JWF Documentaries. But anyway, that video had been brought to my attention. I just heard this thing go bing, so let me check. Yeah. It might have been a noise outside, maybe someone's phone or something, but everything looks like it's working here. But yeah, man. JWF Documentaries. Now, that footage that he put on there, I believe that belonged to Carl Weston from Videograph. Gave Carl Weston a bunch of video footage of me and D3. Ran Graffiti. D3 was out of prison. He got released from prison. He had a parole officer. I've explained in my past videos. I was living in Staten Island. I told his parole officer, yeah, man, let him stay here with me. So D3 was living with me in Staten Island. And as a pet, I had a pit bull named Dog. And I had an American alligator. An actual alligator, a bullhead alligator. It was about 4.5 feet long. And he stayed in a 300-gallon fish tank in Sammy's room. He slept in the living room. I stayed in the bedroom. And his parole officer would come by. He'd knock on the door. He wouldn't ring the bell downstairs. He'd come right up and knock on the door. You know? Once we heard that, we'd be like, swoop, swoop. That means, yo, we got to get everything in order. It's funny because you think you'd know, like, but we never had shit in order. We were always dirty in that fucking place. You know, hiding shotguns and shit like that. We got to hide the alligator. I'd swoop out the alligator from the 300-gallon tank when this actually happened. Pulled him out the tank. I threw him in my dirty laundry, wrapped him up, stuck him in the closet. You know, all that. So I took a little, a veiled chameleon. They're like this fucking big. And I put him in the 300-gallon fish tank. So there's water all over the floor from the 300-gallon fish tank There's water all over the floor, leading all over the place, right to the closet where I put the alligator. But you got to realize, alligators, they like water. And he was about almost 5 feet, maybe 5 feet. And towards the end, he was a little over 5 feet. He was staying in a kiddie pool, just in the living room. After D3 disappeared, I just got a kiddie pool. Like $15. I left that, and then my dog stayed away from him. And they would just hop in and out. I would have a fucking UV light and heating light and all that from the bask on it. I would just put a couple of cinder blocks right in the baby pool, you know, like a pool for children. Put a couple of cinder blocks. He'd sit up there and catch the sunlight. Throw him a couple of fish every so often. Chicken cutlets. That thing would eat everything, man. Big motherfucker. He got big. I actually wound up giving him to Social Tees. That's Social Tees, like a t-shirt, T-E-E-S, I believe is the way they spelled it. He was downtown, and Social Tees would make t-shirts. And he would also take reptiles that people didn't want anymore. Social Tees, downtown. I don't know if they're still in existence, but they were also, like, you could get boa constrictors from them and shit if you proved to be, like, a cool dude that's, like, not gonna, like, take good care of them or something. If you're going to take good care of them, yeah, they give you reptiles. Social Tees. I don't know if they're still around with the pandemic and all that. But anyway, yeah, man, the parole officer came. This alligator, they slashed their tail. If his head was probably about that big. So he could actually take my finger off, my pinky. I'd definitely skin it to the bone. But, you know, I grab him real quick. I don't have time to sit there, like, negotiating with the things. So I swoop him up, and he slashed his tail. It's just a normal defense they would use. So he slashed his tail, and when he did that, all the water, like he smashed water right up into my face and everything. I was literally, it looked like someone like threw a bunch of water on me, right? So I go in the kitchen, Sammy opens the door, and the parole officer comes in. He didn't say, you know, what took you so long opening the door, but normally you want to open the door like when they knock right off the top. Otherwise they're going to look around a little harder, or they'll be mean to you. So it's best bet to get to that door as quick as possible. And so the guy's like, well, you know, what's going on in here? What's all this water about, you know? So I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck's that got to do with anything, you know? So I turn around, I said, I dropped the glass of water. He said, that's a lot of water. And I look, you know, because I didn't really think. I just ran into the kitchen after I got rid of the and I look, it's like there's water all over there, the fish tank and shit. You can even see the glass in the fish tank is all splashed up and shit, right? And there's water all the way leading to the closet where I put the alligator, and then from the closet into the kitchen. And so I told him, I said, no, I spilled a little, I dropped my glass of water. That's a lot of water. So he starts walking over to the tank, and it's got lights and everything on it, so you can look right in it. And he looks in there. And it's like a little lizard we put there, like this big, like a veiled chameleon. I remember that shit, man. It's like that, that's a big tank for a little lizard, you know. He didn't say that, but you could tell what he was thinking, man. And I think on Carl Weston's, see, those videos are from Carl Weston, a videograph that we submitted to him, but they got raided before we could actually get the footage to be turned into a DVD. No, actually it was I believe a cassette tape, but like a VHS tape, yeah. But yeah, that's funny, man. He's got that fish tank, because I remember Sammy was walking back and forth in front of the alligator tank, and the whole top of the tank, it's about 7-8 feet long, the whole top of it was just filled with rustos, because D3 liked the Rust-Oleums. At that point, Krylon really sucked. So, the whole fucking thing filled with American accent and the rustos and shit. And it would be like layer on top of layer. Sammy get about 200-300 cans of that motherfucker on the regular. So yeah, he was going off with Get and High Five. Yeah, from YKK Crew. And me, I was going with Just at that point. Yeah, I was writing with Just at that point. At night, I would write with Just all night. Every night, I dropped off 7 cans of paint, 7 cans of white Rust-Oleum, and he would do the same. And then all day, I would be running around with Skay doing these big, huge fillings all over the place. So yeah, all night and day. That was the most active I've ever been in my life. And that's also around the time when this Espo guy started that whole shit about a book. So when he started stalking me, it's also around the time when I stabbed the dude in the ass near Bryant Park to escape being caught. The guy was playing a hero, trying to arrest me for writing on a gate. I mean, you know, he was a jogger. It was late at night, so you have that. Then what else was going on at that point? Yeah, he had a bunch of shit. Well, that's around the time I went to Jamaica. I throw in the towel. I was also on the news. Yeah, I was on the news twice in 1 week. Yeah, for doing that shit behind the heliport and for fucking up the mayor's mansion, Gracie Mansion. Yeah, up in Yorkville there. So yeah, that was the most active I've been in my life. I have to say at that point right there. Like right before the new millennium. Yeah. That's funny as shit, man. I remember that shit with the big alligator. Also that Norton motorcycle. I had a 750 Commando. It was actually a 1970 750 Commando. Yeah, that's a fight right there. That was a badass motorcycle, man. That shit had balls. Bro, you got that shit. Yo, that was a fucking monster, man. That shit would spit fire out the fucking exhaust, man. Very fucking powerful. That shit was like a truck, like a 5.0 type thing, like, you know what I mean? It was no Ferrari. It was like, like balls out, loud as fuck, like a Harley, man. That shit was powerful. I love that motorcycle, man. I actually sold it to this guy, Joe Battle. Joe Battle, he was a very smart dude. He was like a hippie, had real long hair. I believe he invented, he came up with the program for the Citibank, the ATM machines. That was his thing, like he did that. And he bought it off me. He gave me book value for it. I wasn't going to go any lower. I was moving from there into Queens because I bought a house in Astoria, Queens. So I was moving out of Staten Island to Queens. And, I mean, I did have a garage in the house that I bought in Queens, in Astoria on 21st Street. But I was like, yo, let me just get rid of it, man. And I actually built that thing. Like, I mean, I got it. All the engine, all the serial numbers matched, the fucking frame, the end, everything was perfect. The only thing, it's like I couldn't get parts for it because Norton, the company, the motorcycle company Norton, went out of business in like 1971, and they were from like England or some shit like that, Britain or something. And it was, I don't even remember, but yeah, to order parts. I was ordering parts from Germany just to get the rack for the back of the seat, but everything was fucking Norton 750 fucking Commando, straight up. Yeah, there was no false bullshit on that bike. I would keep, you know when you cook a turkey? On Thanksgiving, you put the turkey in that tin foil type thing and you put it in the oven. And it's a disposable, like, turkey tray, a basting tray. I put that under the motorcycle because it always dripped wood. It would drip oil, and I had parquet wooden floors. So I would put that on there. And that's actually how it cleans its oil. It actually is supposed to drip out like that. It's actually got a little hole in the pan, so water drips right into the oil pan, you know. But yeah, man, I missed that motorcycle, man. That was some powerful shit, bro. I used to love that shit, man. That was a nice bike, man. Real powerful, man. 1970, man. Norton Commando. 750 Norton Commando. You know whether you could see that motorcycle if you ever watched that movie? The Great Escape. The Great Escape? Yeah, The Great Escape with Steve McQueen. The motorcycle he jumps over the fence with and takes off with and escapes with, that motorcycle, that is a 750 Commando. 1970 750 Commando. It's the exact same bike, except mine was blue, like a true blue, but like with like a metallic flake on the engine. I mean, on the gas tank, yeah, and also on the where the battery would go, a little blue there. It's a 750 Commando with the Norton. Oh, that shit was sweet, you know. That was nice, man. Yeah, that's the only bike I ever been on after John had died. Yeah, but yeah, now getting back to that video footage. You look at that footage, man, you could see, man, you see how I'm doing that shit. You know, you can't worry about them people, man. There's a bunch of greenhorns, man. Fuck that. What is pretty cool is if you look at my footing, the way I'm moving, I'm like a fucking puma. I actually got one hand in my pocket. Yeah, I'm right, yeah. No, that's some good shit right there. That's a writer right there, yeah. Fuck yeah, not a care in the world, man. Good footage, man. Carl Weston. Now, getting to Carl Weston, like I explained, I gave him the footage, but they got raided. Videograph got raided. The year that I gave them that footage, that was another thing I was worried about, like I just said. Between that and Espo with his book, and me stabbing some guy in the ass, shit was getting crazy. And me fucking with the mayor's house, Gracie Mansion, and me being on the news, I was like, it's time for me to throw in the towel. And I moved out to Jamaica, the West Indies. But yeah, I forgot all about the Carl Weston thing until I watched the video now. And someone sent me that footage saying like, oh, you could dish it out, but you can't take it. You know, like I could go over people, but I don't like when people go over me. You're damn fucking right, man. I was here from day one. This shit is my backyard, man. That's how I used to look at that shit back in the days. I ruled fucking Manhattan Island with a fucking iron fist, man. Hell yeah, ain't nothing moved around here, man. Fuck yeah. Nah, I locked that shit down, man. I ain't take none of that shit from nowhere. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't think any of you motherfuckers would hang with me back then, yo. What? I hear you guys talk about me being violent and fighting and stuff. Shit, y'all would know, man, for real. You guys learn real fucking quick how it went down back then. Yeah, true story. Now, I want to ask you guys a question about beef. Now, I don't want any of you older guys to answer my question or anything like that. I don't want any of you older guys. You didn't see that. I don't want any of you older guys to answer the question because we know how we did things. But these younger guys, I want to ask you, and if you're going to answer in a comment, please just tell me the years you were active. I want to make sure you're within the realms of the space of time I'm talking about. Within the last 10 years, 10 years. So anyone that started right within the last 10 years, please comment. And just tell me the years. I don't give a fuck where you're from. If you're from Timbuktu, or you're from France or Italy or wherever. A lot of people on here get in touch with me from Australia. You guys show me mad love. One day I'm going to go out there to Australia, man. We're going to play with them crocodiles. Yeah. What else are we going to do? You got a bunch of people. I know I'm leaving out. Someone really talks to me a lot. Well, one dude from Australia, a couple of dudes from Australia. Poland. Someone in Poland. Well, you guys know what I'm saying. Anyone that's been writing graffiti knew. I would prefer someone from New York City to answer this question. But how do you guys handle beef? Like nowadays, you guys could just simply squash it. Like just DM the dude on Instagram and be like, yo, I'm sorry, my bad. Or if not, yo, this, that. Instead of actually taking it to, I mean, I don't know. I've been around a long time and I've been writing a long time. And I've had beef with people and they would put my address on the internet. They put my full fucking address, my work address, my full fucking name on the address. They'd call me all types of fucking names. But then when I meet them, it's like they'd run. If they had the opportunity to run, they would run. Now, I'm not going to sit here getting into names and stuff because, like I said, it's not my style. I'm not going to blow up people's spots that I beat up or something like that. But yeah, that's true. People I've robbed and stuff. You see, I did that shit. Another person, oh, you beat up and robbed a lot of people and you did this. Yeah, but you know how I did that shit? I did that shit like them poultry markets. The Hebrew, what is it? The kosher. Like a kosher butcher. Yeah, I did that shit with dignity. You know? Yeah, they could still go about the earth. I take their stuff. And they could go and roam and do what they want to do, and my mouth is shut. It never happened. You got me? So they're good. That's like the kosher way to do it, man. I believe that's the term. I don't know. Is that like wrong for me to say kosher and Jewish and stuff? I think I said Hebrew, but now I just said, I put my foot in my ass. You know what I'm saying, people? Yeah, I handled it properly. They got robbed or beat up by me. And their dignity and everything was still intact when I left them, okay? They have that. Now, the one question I want to ask you guys is how do you guys nowadays have beef and handle beef? Like, I don't know, I personally don't see any beef out there. I think that whole part of graffiti is gone, which is heartbreaking. But how would something like that, how do you guys squash it? Like, do you meet up at Starbucks and like, talk it over, like between like a spicy pumpkin fucking latte or something like that? Like how does that whole thing go down? Please comment. And I'm not joking. I mean, it sounds like I'm funny, but I always sound funny. It's just me. I don't know. I talk, people start cracking up laughing. Like, yeah, leave a comment. Let me know. But also put in your years of activity so I know that you fall within the realms of like within the last 10 years. And it's like a serious question I'm asking. Like, beef, it's like gone because I hear the way you guys speak about me. Like like I'm wrong or something like that. But like, you know what I mean? Like with these people that I mentioned on that list, all those people I've said on that list had started shit with me. I've said several times in that video that yes, I've crossed out people. Yes, I've pulled people out the hat. Yeah, Manhattan Island, I ran that shit hard fucking body, bro. Like, yo, I ain't letting nothing move like that, man. Hell yeah. I would go over everyone and anyone, man. That's just the way I roll because it was Manhattan Island. I could easily fucking win any war. Like, there's no one that could fuck with me on Manhattan Island. I'd just be at and I'm right back up on top. You get me? Like, that's why I focused on Manhattan Island and Manhattan Island only. That's why I'll always say, JA has always done more graffiti than me. Cost has done more graffiti than me as far as it goes with going all city. So has Easy as far as it goes with going all city. Yes, all of them have spread their graffiti out further than me. Further than I'd ever want to. Now, yes, people could say, oh, this, that, but yeah, you did go all city RD, this, that, in 2000. And so, yeah, I did, but I would hit, just because I lived in Staten Island, so I was writing graffiti there, and Brooklyn with Skay and stuff like that. Then from there, I moved into fucking Queens, and so then Queens would fall into the picture. And later on with Melissa up in the Bronx, so this was all within the course. So I lived in all, like, in an area where I could always stay up, and within the course of 3 years, yeah, it could be considered someone that went all city, but that wasn't even really going all city. Like I say, I don't stroke myself up to be more than I am. I really don't do that. That's not my style. If anything, I down talk myself. Other people like, yo, Rob, you're bugging. But no, I'm being truthful. Like, yeah, that's not, like, I believe, yeah, I mean, the Costy's did a lot. JA's done a lot. JA to this day is probably the person that's done it the most. Not as much as you guys think, but yes, JA holds that title. You can't take that from him. Now, I do believe, like I've said before, that Cost in any God-forgiven minute, if Cost found out right now he's got cancer and he's got 6 months to fucking live, I said this in a past video. Right now, if Cost is like, oh, my throat feels funny, let me go to the doctor. The doctor's like, dude, you're dying. You got 6 months to live. You know, what do you think Cost's gonna do? Sit at home crying? Hell no, that motherfucker's gonna start writing graffiti all over the fucking place, and then he'll be up on it. Like, they're really like this. Like, JA's right here, and Cost is not that far behind that shit, straight up. But I mean, both of them have taken time off, a lot of time off. So is Easy. Easy has taken off 20-something fucking years. So is JA, so is Cost. I mean, at least as far as it goes with New York City. So they've, me, no, I've been straight, always, except for 4 years. And even in them 4 years, I figured out I did 10 blockbusters in 4 years. Just 10 big, huge blockbusters. They're huge, 10 feet tall, half a city block or something like that. Metro North tracks, I did them. A bunch, I did Fordham Road and Marion Avenue in the Bronx. I did a big one with my wife actually sitting right next to me. But that was with spray paint, Silver and Black. Smith and Sane crossed that one out, I believe, with JA. Yeah, so anyway, I wrote a lot of fucking graffiti and I've had a lot of beef with a lot of fucking people. But I did not start beef with those particular people that I mentioned in that thing. I never said I never ever started beef with anybody. I never ever said that. You got to go back to the video and watch it. I never ever said I never started with anyone. I started shit with a lot of fucking people. You know, like I said, I ran Manhattan Island, man. If I wanted to write on something, I write on it. I don't give a fuck what that shit says underneath, man. Fuck yeah, that's the truth. So as far as that said, I don't change my game in that. And as far as this video surfacing and this and that, man, fuck y'all. Them dudes are a bunch of greenhorns, man. I ain't, yeah, that's what I did, man. Fuck yeah. Never said I didn't, but yeah, that's the bottom line, people. What else is there? That's it. Yo, take care of yourselves, people. Yeah. Yeah, I just watched that video, and I thought about something funny, you know, my video before I post it and what I just talked about, so I could correct anything, because I'm just talking off the top of my head here. But yeah, one thing I want to emphasize on is Carl Weston and Videograph. Yeah, that dude's the shit, man. If you remember back, man, when he got raided and got arrested, that shit was on the news, man. Like, the first time it happened, and then like almost every time he went to court. I would believe that that was probably the most publicized on television and in the media, probably as far as it goes with like a graffiti arrest, and till this day I'd say that was probably the one that takes the cake. I mean, I know when Bansky came to town, they were all, oh, every day he was doing a new fucking thing somewhere or something like that. But yeah, when it comes to Carl Weston, because he was fighting back with them fuckers, man. Yeah, he was actually following like the cops around it, like arresting them, and he was videoing them. He's like, where's my videos? He's like, yeah, he ain't take that shit laying down, man. He ain't no punk, man. Yeah, he gets it, man. He understands graffiti, man. Also, I was just watching it, and Nick is in it. Nick Wildstar. Yeah, Nick AK. What is it again? Aerosol Kings, yeah. I remember him as Wildstar. I don't know, he don't push Wildstar no more. But Nick, maybe he does, he just don't write it no more, he just does his own crew. But yeah, I first met him, I think I was in my last year of high school, so it was probably like 80, anywhere from 86, 87 maybe. Yeah, because I graduated in 87, so. Yeah, I remember that's when I was hitting the D trains up on 205th, and like I was explaining in my past videos, when I was in the juvenile centers, like DFY facilities, and you get locked up as a kid, you get released back out of these places. They kind of learn not to like just put you back in regular public school, because shit goes bad quick, man, and violent, you know. You're still thinking like you in Spofford and shit. People start some shit when you're ready to kill them, you know. So yeah, they don't do that. What they do is they put you in these special school, and that's where that special school was when I met Nick Wildstar, Nick Aerosol Kings. Yeah. It was one stop before the last stop, I remember. It was 205th is the last stop, so it's like 198, I think it was. That was the stop where the school was right upstairs, above it. Small school. But yeah, I remember I was going to hit because they actually have a catwalk in there, like the express tracks. They'll stop and they'll run everything, the express on the local tracks and everything. And on the express tracks, they'll just park the D train. And you actually have a catwalk where you could do top to bottoms and shit in whole cars if you wanted to. You know, yeah, I go in there, man, I tear that shit up. One day I'm walking right in the sandbox, I see some dude hanging out, he had sheepskin on and shit. You know, it's like the era with the gazelles and all that, you know. I'm not saying he wears gazelles, I don't remember that. I'm just saying that's that era of time. The shell top Adidas and shit. But yeah, sheepskin on, and he had ink on it. I remember I'm talking to him like, yo, you write graffiti? Yeah, this, that, yeah, man, Nick, man, that's funny shit, man. Yeah, good times, man, but yeah, let me leave it there, man. Yeah, nothing else I could say, man. But good shit. Yo, check out that JWF documentaries if you want to see the full videos. He's got a lot of good videos on his channel. And like I said, it's JWF documentaries. A kid from this neighborhood here, and he's been putting some videos on. And that's where you guys found this video of me writing graffiti. I believe it came by way of Carl Weston and Videograph, by it being a video about Videograph. So that's why I came to that conclusion. See, I'm pretty clever, huh? Yeah. That is the guy's page right here. Yeah, here from Yorkville. He's youngin', but he's young. But I did submit stuff to
Spin, Nick, Sasha, Caravan Carl.
Carl Weston, I think it was, right when he got raided. We had shit with us, shotguns, remember? We had all types of crazy footage. We
gave him a bunch of footage to put on the Videograph, and then, you know, like the next thing you know, all of a sudden he gets raided, you know, everything gets taken from him, and we never came out on it, so.
He got a big scandal in the 90s, like they raided his place, and then they confiscated all of his shit and all his footage, and they tried to give him some kind of sentence for making graffiti or whatever, and then some civil rights and freedom of speech lawyers got behind him, and I think he won his case.
I'm doing an investigation. I'm an undercover officer. I understand that. Put my life in jeopardy. I want you to understand that I am investigating your criminal activities right now. I'm investigating your criminal activities right now. I have a legal right. I have a legal right to use this footage. I have a legal right. Why don't you come and try to do another search warrant? So you just to cover up your criminal activities. Your criminal activities. You have no comment, I guess. No comment? No? Okay.
Carl and Nick, you know, as producers, you know, they get arrested. You know, they get their homes raided.